That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet.
When you could not prove anyone right or wrong, all the expertise was contained in the people involved in the conversation.
We hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, that don't sound right, send us a comment. You're one of us.
So internationally,
I don't think I said international. I just said farther. But we do have international folks listening. Thank you, Canada.
So
welcome back to another episode of That Don't Sound Right, a podcast about talking. We're your co-hosts. I'm Peter Billman.
I'm Cecil Davis.
And we're just trying to have a conversation without using Google or fact-checking online. Those things can so easily kill the conversation.
Yes, they can. And
we are so delighted you are here with us tonight to listen to our ramblings and our random subjects. And I tell you what, tonight is a bit random.
This is a bit random. Do you want me to introduce it? So the tonight's topic is it's called a man lift. And so this is a continuously moving belt between usually two floors, maybe more. And it's got a platform on it, spaced probably every 6 to 8 feet. Well, probably about every 8 feet. And so every 8 feet of the belt that moves, this platform comes on. It's just big enough for your feet to be on. And so as the platform comes through the floor, you step onto it, and there's a peg for you to hold onto, and the belt carries you to the next floor, and then you step off of it.
So if you can imagine this belt contraption. So the first thing that don't sound right is a belt.
Right.
First, you're dealing with a belt. So how wide is this belt? Is this like a fan belt type deal,
So
or is it like a
belt's
wide
probably
belt?
about 3 feet wide.
Okay, so it's a pretty wide belt.
Wide belt.
All right. And it spans what, from the bottom floor up to the top floor or the second floor?
Right, yeah, so it goes from between floors. So at least one floor up, but maybe more.
All right.
The place that I have seen them, the one place I've seen them is in a paper mill.
What's so special about it?
I don't know.
Is the belt made out of paper?
No, I don't know why. And then that's the only one I know in existence currently, because my father-in-law works for a paper mill.
Where's this paper mill?
The one I saw it in was in Virginia, Franklin, Virginia.
Yeah,
okay. That paper mill.
Oh, yeah, that's right up the street. That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And so when I was in junior college, we went there on a field trip to the science club to see the paper mill. So they had a man lift there. But my father-in-law worked at a paper mill in Plymouth, North Carolina, that had a man lift.
Let's back up a second here. First, let's back up to the science club. So you're in the science club at a junior college.
Yeah.
What do you do in a science club?
Well, in a junior college in eastern North Carolina, let's see, we bought a live pig one time, killed it, dressed it, and cooked it for a science project.
That's science.
That's science, man. That's good science.
All right.
Then we went to the paper mill one time.
All right.
And we would have other people come in and maybe speak on various topics or...
So why did the science club decide to go to a paper mill?
I have no idea why we went to the...
Did you look?
Probably somebody had a connection up there, so we, they said, we get you the paper mill.
And this is where you saw the man lift.
Man lift,
The belt man lift.
Belt man lift, yeah.
How fast does this man lift spin? I mean, is it like...
It's not going... it's not
Is it escalator speed or is it elevator speed?
It's escalator speed.
Okay, so it's kind of predictable.
Yeah, it's pretty...
So you still have to time your jump.
It's like a ski lift, except vertical, and you're having to stand on a platform and hold onto a peg as you go between floors.
There's lots that can go wrong in a man lift.
I would think, because you're going through a hole in the floor as you go up.
Okay.
So if you lean back, there's always a chance you're going to hit the edge of the hole.
Well, lean back, yeah, you smack your head.
Right. There's a chance you can fall off because you're not secured in any way.
Right. I guess also if you don't time it right, you get 1 foot on, 1 foot off, and you're flopping around
around. You could lean in and catch your chin on the foot stand as it comes by. I mean, there's a lot of danger to it.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't get over it. I mean, so junior, what year is this? Are we talking? I just can't.
90. This is 86.
Okay,
87.
I just can't imagine these things.
But as far as I know,
I mean, we can't even have playgrounds with fun toys on there anymore. And we're going to have a
absolutely.
vertical man lift for someone that we're going to trust somebody to get on this thing, hold on and balance themselves.
Right.
We're going to believe that they're not going to get hurt at something.
So you and I both work in, and you much more so than me, work in industries that are governed by OSHA.
Right. And what does OSHA stand for?
So, Occupational Safety and Health Administration.
Sounds good to me. By the way, I'm enjoying some coffee that our barista made.
Hey, barista.
Hello.
Thanks, Camille.
Thanks, Camille.
I'm going to take a sip.
Go.
But anyway, talk about OSHA.
The plant manager there at Airglide, my dad worked, it said, if you think OSHA's a small town in Iowa, you're in trouble. So, but we work in, OSHA heavily regulates the industry.
Right.
So I am surprised that these things can still exist because there's companies that still make them. They're still in existence.
Do you think they're still in existence?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of things that can go wrong. I wonder, you get checked, when you're in a plant or some kind of factory or warehouse, you have to get checked out on the different equipment, right?
Absolutely.
You have to have like a little license or at least be checked out to do a forklift.
Yes. Well, you do now.
Yeah,
I drove one without a license.
I'm sure all the equipment inside of a plant or a factory, you have to get checked out on it. I wonder if you have to get checked out to be on the man lift.
I wonder. Well, like swimming across the pool or something.
Yeah, it's just, proper instructions for being on the man lift. Do you only go up?
Yeah, I can't imagine you would come down.
Because there's a lot more that can go wrong coming down. Because if you don't get off when you're supposed to, it's going to suck you down into some hole.
Right. Because you could go down into where it's at. Yeah, there's no down to it. It's only up.
Is the belt constantly running or does it stop for you to get on?
Belt's constantly moving.
Again.
Yeah, so I don't know if the one in Plymouth is still there, but it was certainly still there when my father-in-law was working, which was within the last 10 years.
Our reach, this podcast, our reach has gotten greater.
Yes.
And I wonder if there's a listener out there who has a relative now that can vouch for the existence of the vertical belt man lift.
Got injured by a melt.
Well, hopefully not injured, but at least has ridden one before.
So here's the interesting thing. So you said international reach. So internationally,
I don't think I said international. I just said farther. But we do have international folks listening. Thank you, Canada.
So
and Sweden,
overseas,
and Germany,
right? Overseas,
Britain, India,
New Zealand,
Guatemala, Philippines.
Where's Pat?
Uganda. Yeah, so we do have an international reach.
Hey, Pat. So these are called paternosters overseas.
Is this a German word?
I don't know.
Where do they say that again?
Pater or pater, P-A-T-E-R-N-O-S-T-E-R, paternoster.
Really?
They're moving boxes. So the boxes are going by an opening, like an elevator. It looks like an elevator.
And they're constantly moving.
Yeah, so you can imagine like an elevator with no doors.
Now, how are you going to time that?
And you step in to the box and then it carries to the next floor and you step up. They're still in operation in Vienna.
Where in Vienna? What kind of factory?
I guess public building.
Where have you heard of this?
I saw it.
I need information.
Yeah, this is something you're about to look at on the internet.
No, this don't sound right.
Yeah. So, but can you imagine with that?
I was in Vienna. I didn't see any moving boxes going vertically where I had to time myself to get in.
Well, you're probably in modern plants in Vienna.
Okay. I wasn't even in a plant. So these are in factories, you're saying?
I think they're probably more in like municipal buildings.
And really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you imagine mistiming a box? Because now you've basically got a guillotine.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So like if you
there's got to be safety devices that, the doors try to close and it shuts the whole thing.
Oh, there's no doors.
Oh, there's no doors.
That's what I'm saying, is that there's an opening, in the wall and there's a box moving past it. And you step into the box and it carries you to the next floor and you step up. Now it's not going by fast, but you still have to time it.
But I mean, even if it's escalator fast,
right? That's
fast.
That's fairly fast. Yeah.
You think it's escalator? It must not be escalator fast.
Maybe a little slower than escalator fast, but still, you've got to time. Just like a ski lift, you have to time yourself getting off a ski lift, or you're going back around.
Yeah, getting off. That's true. Right, right.
And there's all these videos of people getting tangled up and starting back around because
that's true. I mean, I guess.
I mean, to me, a ski lift is inherently dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, ski lifts can, definitely. There's lots can go wrong in a ski lift, but there's usually somebody there watching. you get off. If there's a problem, they mash the button and stop it.
Yeah, I don't think
There's
that
not
happens
someone at the
on the
vertical
man lift.
belt man lift sitting there. I wonder if there's a panic button as you're going up. You can mash the button at any time. Hey, this is about to take my head off. Stop.
I don't know. I can imagine there's probably not a lot.
I wonder. Yeah, probably not. I mean, I would think you could put some fail safes in. Like you have a treadmill,
Mhm.
right? And you can. I think does yours have where it senses you grip?
Mine, since it has a magnet on the string, so you just tie that string to you, and then if you fall,
go
it
flying,
stops
okay.
you.
I would think you could put sensors in a handle where as long as you're grabbing, it's going to move. As soon as you let go, it stops.
Yeah. Well, like a garage door is supposed to stop if it hits you, right?
Yeah. Or the window in your door, your car door.
Yeah. Or an elevator door.
Elevators definitely work.
I don't think these have that.
You don't think vertical man lift has that?
Or the paternoster.
It's just going to just throw you off.
All this stuff was developed when things were a little looser.
That's right.
So, I mean, even in the time I worked at the plant where my dad worked, I mean, things became more strict over time. I mean, we would carry stuff on cranes with open hooks, and I don't think you could do that anymore. You would have to have it secured to the crane.
What do you mean crane? Oh, instead of having the hook have a latch on it?
Yeah, it'd just be an open hook.
Okay.
And I doubt you could get away with that anymore.
Yeah, I wonder.
Only?
But it's easy. It's easy to have a latched hook, so you might.
It's easy to have a latched.
So might as well do it. I don't know how you get around. I don't know how you make a vertical man lift safer.
No, I am surprised that they are around. But moving stuff between floors is inherently dangerous anyway. Whether it's stairs, elevator, escalator, whatever it is, moving stuff from one floor to the next is inherently dangerous. A stairwell is inherently dangerous.
Yeah, but I mean, what are the chances though when you think about a big industrial elevator?
Hmm.
I mean, those are set up pretty stout. There's a lot of fail safes.
Do you have industrial elevators where you work?
No, where we work, we don't even have a second floor. Everything's spread out on one floor.
One floor. See, that's the safest way to do it.
That's the best way to do it, right? Yeah. I guess where you work is an old warehouse.
We have an industrial elevator.
And are there industrial elevators there?
There are.
Okay.
These are big enough to take a forklift up in.
Yeah, right.
These are big.
Better than a man belt.
These are better than the man belts. But, I think where you saw them being used, like in paper mills are typically multiple floors by design because of the process.
Right.
The process is so big. I mean, these rolls of paper they create are, I don't know what to describe them to. I mean, they look like look like a dump truck. I mean,
right.
They're huge. And so, you're having to move people probably quickly between floors.
Sure.
And this was just what they came up with.
That's what they came up with. Yeah.
I mean, you can do a ladder with a cage on it. Now, I've climbed out on the outside of an industrial building on a ladder, caged ladder.
One of those vertical ladders.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that, but it looks difficult because I've climbed up a vertical ladder.
Right.
But not one of these big ones. Vertical ladders are they're hard to, they take some doing, don't they?
They do. So you get up, when you start up, you're fine. Like when you go up the length of a regular extension ladder. But once you get above that, now you're using muscles that you're not used to using.
Right.
You're in work boots and you're trying to grip a rung that's made out of a piece of, pipe. And so it's not designed for you to hang on. And so if it's wet or cold,
lots can go wrong. Right. These guys and gals climb up these towers, these cell towers or these radio towers. That's how they get up. They don't take a man belt.
No. So I probably went 100 feet up like that.
Did you really?
And so I want you
10 stories? That's
100 feet.
10 stories.
Not 10 stories.
That's a climb.
That's a climb. I'll say 70 feet.
That's a climb.
Yeah. It was probably easily 70 feet. It was above the height of a bay crane. And so we were, I would say easily 70 feet.
So what were you doing up there?
It's on the roof.
Oh, okay.
But once you get above about 20 feet, you're in a cage.
Okay. Yeah, right.
So I guess that way, if you slip, you'll just hit the cage all the way down until you get out the bottom.
You have lots of things to grab on your way down.
Yeah.
Right.
I do remember leaning back against the cage a couple times just to rest.
Yeah, because your body's cantilevered out.
Yeah.
On a regular ladder, you're standing over your feet and you're going up. But when you're in this, you're actually standing away from your feet and you're hanging on with your hands.
Right.
That's a full body workout.
Yeah. And then you get to the top of those things and you got to step off, which is always an event.
I bet your legs are wobbly.
Yeah, you're wobbly. Then coming down is not as bad, but going up, it's a test.
Yeah, that sounds like a job.
Yeah. So that's, I'm sure, why they started doing these
Well, I guess, man lifts don't take as much room as a staircase, right? It's just a cylinder size hole you have to get. How do these guys get? I don't still understand how they get down. They must come downstairs.
Yeah, they come downstairs. Because I guess it's getting up there is the urgency. Coming down, I guess it's not as urgent.
There must be something very important at the top.
Right. Or maybe there's a pole. Maybe they go up on the man belt and come down to the fire pole.
We were just talking, a coworker and I, so we have a 2-story building with a nice atrium. And we always thought, well, why don't we have a pole?
Right.
A fireman's pole to slide on down just to speed this thing up.
And again, why do you, that's how firemen get from the second floor to the first floor is on a pole.
That's right.
They don't run downstairs.
Something tells me they're a little more fit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's, again, you're trying to
and
get
a little younger,
right?
A little more coordinated.
You're trying to get from the second floor to the first floor. And again, you're jumping into a hole, grabbing a hole. There's a lot that can go wrong there.
When I was a kid, our neighbor had a tree house. And this is where I wish he had a man lift. He had a tree house, and it must have been, I was a little kid, so everything seemed pretty tall. But that thing seemed way up in the sky. I feel like it was 20 feet up. And he had a rope that, one of those not hemp, but what's rope?
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah, so it's one of those rough ropes that go down.
Yeah.
So we have a ladder to go up.
Right.
And the idea was that take the rope down. And I thought, I'll just do it just like a fireman.
Right.
You just slide down.
Yep.
My hands
burn them up.
Were burnt up.
Yeah.
I had blisters. Where I didn't have blisters, I had no skin. And where I had no skin, I had blisters.
It's always like in these movies where people are repelling with just just with whatever they have around them.
Yes.
You can't do that. It's impossible.
Well, yeah, right. Now you can't do it fast. You have to walk your way down.
Yeah. You're not going to jump out of something and just slide down a rope with your hands because you'd slice your hand off.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's what happened to me. I couldn't believe it. He thought it was funny.
You learn that quick and you learn it once.
I know. I'll do that again.
Yeah, I learned it. I didn't learn it that way, but I learned about holding onto a rope when it was moving fast. I learned it quick.
Well,
I need to do an episode. I think we were going to talk about that. Things you learn quick and fast and you never forget. That is one of them.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet you were skin up.
Well, yeah, I was definitely wishing for a man lift there.
Yeah, so if you've listened to this, go and look that up. So it's a paternoster, Paternoster. I think that's correct. And then in the U.S., they're called man
lift or a belt man lift.
Yeah, belt man lift. Yeah,
that's nuts. I'd really like to find one.
I bet there's still one in Plymouth, North Carolina.
All right. You got a contact?
I don't know if that plant's still operational, though.
Maybe we can get inside and just take a picture of it.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
You think you can get us in?
I don't know. It's a good question.
So where is Plymouth? I'm not familiar with Plymouth, North Carolina.
Plymouth is near New Bern.
Oh, okay. It's out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little north of New Bern on 17.
Well, we'll have to find a man lift here.
Yeah. I bet you Reynolds had one.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. I cannot imagine they had all those warehouses and didn't have at least one or two man lifts.
Oh, even the factories, even where they made the cigarettes, those were multi-levels.
Yeah. So, well, it don't sound right. Just like a belt man lift doesn't sound like. But you've come to the end of another. That don't sound right.
Hey, before we close, we want to thank everyone for listening. If this is your first time and enjoyed the conversation, would you consider hitting the subscribe button on the platform you listen with? Also, if you're a longtime listener, please give us a rating and leave us a review so others can easily find us and join the conversation. And if you're really thinking about it, post it on your social media. We'd love that.
That'd be great. That Don't Sound Right is a production of TDSR Podcast in conjunction with Campbell City Studios. I'm your co-host and sound engineer, Cecil. Peter is your other host who does all your web design. Camille, who's in the studios tonight.
Hello.
You need to say goodbye now.
Oh, goodbye.
Is our part-time barista. Emily does our graphic design. Ella does our Instagram. Giorgio tests our merchandise. Brent is our international brand ambassador. And as always, listener number one is.
Scott.
So until next week, keep talking.
And stay curious.